If you read the paragraph and something just feels wrong, there are a few areas you can look at. First, look over the details. Ask if they are all directly connected to the topic sentence. If not, you might want to revise some wording or delete the section altogether. Another reason something could feel wrong is because there might be some evidence that needs to be deleted. Writers of all levels struggle deleting sentences that they work so hard to construct. But remember, the best writers are the ones that know when to keep something good and when to delete something that may sound good by itself but hurts the paragraph's overall purpose. Finally, there may be times when you don't need to delete anything at all. Instead, you might want to revise the organization of the paragraph, copy the paragraph into a new Word document, and play with the order of the sentence, and perhaps combine some, not too many, sentences. You might realize that the revision really clarifies and energizes your writing.
When you're rambling, days are long.
Perhaps you've heard this song, Rambling Rose, sung by Nat King Cole. It's about a girl who rambles so much that she practically talks her date to death. Well, don't ramble your instructor to death in your essay. Be aware if your essay or paragraph begins in one subject but slowly trickles towards another area. Also, try to cut what the book calls empty deadwood out. Deleting these areas ends up tightening your paragraphs, and having a clear, concise paragraph is great. Also, don't change your point of view mid-sentence or paragraph. If you begin your essay discussing Puerto Rican citizens as they, then don't switch mid-paragraph or mid-sentence to we or you. If you grew up in the U.S., you might have read those old Dick and Jane books. They sound something like, I see Spot. See Spot run. Run, Spot, run. Such writing is all right for beginning writers, but not in academia. Simple sentences that follow a strict subject-verb format tend to sound very choppy. That is why I recommend reading aloud. It'll allow you to hear the rhythm and flow of your sentences. And if you feel yourself halt or pause, or what the book likes to call a clunk, then consider revising that section. I've mentioned point of view a few times. Point of view refers to the pronouns used in essays. There's first person, second person, and third person point of view. If you've ever seen any ballroom dancing, you might have seen the tango. It's a beautiful, romantic dance, where part of the time, the couples dance in passionate embrace. Then, midway through the dance, the woman is flung away from her partner in what seems to be passionate rejection. I'm sure my description of the tango is inaccurate, but the image serves as an analogy for the use of the word I. It is a myth that the pronoun I should never be used in an essay. On the contrary, many of our best essays have used the first person. However, some of your former teachers may have discouraged the use of first person for a good reason. Writing in the first person often produces too many empty phrases such as I think that and I believe that. Like in the tango, these are moments where you should fling the I away from your essay in rejection. Nevertheless, the first person point of view can be appropriate in essays. In a personal narrative, for example, you can embrace the I with more freedom. However, in other essays, like argumentative or compare and contrast, you should tango with the I very carefully. Let's look at the example in blue. Example. However, as a person born in Puerto Rico, I have enjoyed many of the benefits Commonwealth citizens enjoy. One of the most important benefits I am grateful for is the right to American citizenship upon birth. If Puerto Rico remains a Commonwealth, this is a benefit that future generations will continue to enjoy. But benefits such as these still do not amount to the larger benefit independency would bring, the benefit for Puerto Ricans to govern themselves. Note how at first, the specific personal example embraces the I, but only for a moment. As the specific personal example concludes, the essay moves on. The I is flung away and replaced by the third person point of view. There's only one second person pronoun, and it's you. Let me put it simply. Do not use you in essays. Second person is generally used when giving directions or asking questions, such as in an instructional manual and in letters. Oftentimes, when students force themselves to write drafts, omitting the word you, they get stuck. For these students, I always suggest that they go ahead and use the word you in their rough drafts. Then, as they revise their essays, they can begin replacing all of their yous with keywords like people, society, others, or many. It sounds just fine. You should vote versus citizens should vote. Third person pronouns, known as she, he, they, them, those, etc., are always appropriate in essays, and you can feel comfortable using these. You should feel that the third person pronouns are the pronouns you primarily use in your essays. Just like there's a tendency to shift the point of view midway, there's also a tendency to shift verb tense mid-essay or sentence. Let's look at the examples in blue. Number 1. Big Joe saw the police car, so he turns into the next alley. Number 2. Big Joe saw the police car, so he turned into the next alley. Which one is correct? The second sentence, because they maintain the same past tense verb. This may sound like it's easy or not a big deal to avoid when writing, but when you're in the moment and actually writing, writers often tend to do this. So be aware of this and be consistent.